Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back with my pan Those Eyeshadows project update, and I hit two new pans. This makeup project is created by Alexi. I will link her down below, and in here you randomize 5 eyeshadows from your collection and then you work towards hitting pan on them. So that's what I'm doing. And before I show you my progress, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Ravneet and I make a lot of panning videos. Now let's get into the update. So let's take a look at our very first eyeshadow, which comes from this eyeshadow palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So it's the Norvina palette and we were working on the shade called Soul in here. In order to hit pan, so last update I had a total of 10 uses on this eyeshadow, and then I only need to use it 2 more times to hit the pan. I used it 2 more times to expand it. So this is what 14 uses look like on this eyeshadow called Soul. I was using a thin brush with this eyeshadow for a precise application, and that's the reason the dip is kind of narrow so as the pan, but that's what this palette is looking overall, and this eyeshadow is rolling out. And the next eyeshadow we hit pan on is from Morphe 35O Supernatural Glow palette. We were working on this eyeshadow called Otherworldly, and last update we had 8 uses on this eyeshadow, and then I only had to use it 3 times to hit the pan, and then I used it once more to sort of expand the pan, or at least tried to expand it, and that is our pan. This is what this eyeshadow is looking like. That's much better. And next 3 eyeshadows I have not hit pan on, but I managed to use them 5 times each at least. And the first eyeshadow in that category comes from this palette from My Glam, and I was working on, or I'm still working on, the second eyeshadow in here. Last update I had 7 uses on this, and then I used it 5 more times since last update. So now we have some sort of dip going on in here, but not enough to get the pan because these pans are very deep. But now I've hit pan on Otherworldly, and I've also hit my goal on Precious Cargo eyeshadow that comes from my Baby Yoda palette. So now I think I can exclusively use this as an inner corner eyeshadow, and probably that way I might be able to hit pan on this one. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it by next update, but I'll try to do that. And next eyeshadow comes from my Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette, and we rolled it into this project last update, and it's a beautiful blending out shade. This one is called Antidote. This is what it is looking like today. I've managed to use it 5 times, so we are having some sort of brush strokes, no dip or anything as such, but yeah, 5 uses are definitely showing up on this eyeshadow, and it is staying in this project. I rolled in this eyeshadow palette as a whole in my project level up as a level 4 palette. So that means I need to hit 4 pans in this palette, which means I will have 5 pans on this palette by end of both these projects, which is super exciting. Next eyeshadow is also something that we rolled in last update, which is this beautiful blue eyeshadow. It comes from BH Cosmetics Sub-Zero palette, and I managed to use it 6 times, and it's called Cold Blooded. This is what it is looking like. I think it's going to take a while to hit pan on this eyeshadow. Maybe I can hit pan on this one sooner if I concentrate in one area with a small brush, but it's a beautiful eyeshadow and I'm really enjoying it. It has wonderful formula. These BH Cosmetics eyeshadows have outdone most of the high-end eyeshadows in my opinion. They are that good. So this was the color story that we were working on last month. This is the Soul and this is Otherworldly. Both of them are rolling out, and these 3 eyeshadows are staying in. So before we roll in 2 new eyeshadows in their place, let's take a look at our panning percentage. So I have 207 eyeshadows in my collection, and I have pan on 80 of the eyeshadows, and I don't have pan on 127 eyeshadows. That brings our panning percentage to 38.65%. I did finish a few eyeshadows. The eyeshadows that I finished had pan in them, and that's why my eyeshadows with pan number has kind of stayed around 80, but that's where we are at. I'm not too concerned about hitting more pans. My main focus is to finish more eyeshadows and use my eyeshadows throughout. So before we roll into eyeshadows, let's take a look at some of the looks that I did. So we will be selecting two eyeshadows from 1 to 109, simply because I'm only counting shimmer eyeshadows from this Morphe palette, because all of the mattes are very neutral and they kind of collide with my eyeshadows in those palettes, the ones that I'm trying to finish. So that's the reason I'm only selecting shimmer eyeshadows from here, and I have 9 eligible shimmer eyeshadows because 2 of them have pan. So that's what we are counting from this palette. Let's get the first number. 68, 87. Okay, let's see what those eyeshadows are. 67 is this very vibrant pink eyeshadow. It's called the Goddess. It's from Hela palette, which is from Oden's Eye in collaboration with Angelica Nyquist. The next eyeshadow, that's number 87, it comes again from BH Cosmetics Sub-Zero palette, and it's the second shade in here. It's called Totally Numb. I won't be rolling it in because I'm working on a blue palette to finish, and I think it is very close to the eyeshadows that I have in there. So I have 2 matte blue eyeshadows that I want to finish by end of this year, and I think it is going to compete with those eyeshadows, and that's the reason I won't be rolling it in, even though it has wonderful formula. The formula on this one is way better than the formula on those 2 eyeshadows that I'm trying to finish. But yeah, I have to re-roll for this eyeshadow. Alright, so we had 87, 75. Let me quickly see what 75 is. Okay, that's nice. I think that can do. It's from my BH Cosmetics Do Not Disturb palette. The eyeshadow is called Silent Mode. That palette also has some blues, so I need to double check if Silent Mode is a blue or a purple. It's again a blue, and that looks very similar to Cold Blooded. I have to reroll again. Oh my god, I can't believe. Okay, fingers crossed. 46. Okay, I think I'm going to stick with this one because this seems like relatively easier for me. So number 46 comes from my Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette again, and the shade is called Opal Aura. I think we'll do it. I think I'm going to keep that eyeshadow because I'll be working on this palette either way for the shade Antidote. That's what Antidote looks like, and that's what Opal Aura looks like. I'm gonna give you a close-up of this eyeshadow in a moment. I will be working on that eyeshadow either way, and I'll be focusing on other 4 eyeshadows to hit pan. So I think it is fine that I roll in this eyeshadow to hit pan on. And I'm not going to lie, other eyeshadows that I rolled in, especially the Goddess, it's pretty hard. I think it's going to take me such a long time to hit pan, so I think it's nice to have an easy eyeshadow. All right, I'm going to bring my Hela palette and then I'll show you my new color story. Before I show you the 2 new eyeshadows, I've shown you Opal Aura already. Let's take a quick look at the eyeshadows that we are rolling over from last months. The first one is this champagne shade. It's been in this project for 2 months now, and I'll try to hit pan on this one by next update. And then we have this eyeshadow called Antidote from Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. This is what it is looking like. And the third eyeshadow is this blue eyeshadow, and it comes from my BH Cosmetics Sub-Zero palette. It's called Cold Blooded. This is what this one looks like. We rolled Antidote and Cold Blooded last month. And the fourth eyeshadow that we will be working on, it comes from Hela palette, and that one is called Goddess, which is this one. So it's going to take me quite some time to hit pan on this eyeshadow. It is very vibrant. So let me try to give you guys a swatch. Ooh. Oh my god. That is straight up pink. It's very saturated. Yeah, it's gonna take me a long time to hit pan. I'm kind of nervous about this. So let's quickly take a look at our last eyeshadow, which I'm kind of hopeful for that we might have pan on this eyeshadow by next update. So that one is called Opal Aura, and it comes from Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. This is what this eyeshadow looks like. I worked on this eyeshadow, I think last year, in my deck of panning for some prompt, I think, and I wanted to use it 10 times in that project, so I do have a head start on this one. This is what Opal Aura looks like. So this is what we were working with last month, and this is our new color story. I do feel like these two eyeshadows will pair well, and I can use Antidote to blend Goddess. But yeah, I'm very nervous about this eyeshadow, even though I'm excited to reach for this one, but it's going to stay here for a while. But that's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching my video. Wherever in the world you are, I will see you in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.